To get us started in this subject, and for us to better understand culture, society, and politics, we'll be talking about the disciplines of anthropology, sociology, and political science. Have you ever wondered why people are different from each other? Why each of us are different when it comes to how we look like, where we came from, how we were raised, our beliefs, and even in our own political views. But despite these differences for many purposes, we people think and act as one, most specifically when we look at it in the lens of social sciences. With social sciences, we are able to understand the disciplines under which identity, culture, society, and politics collectively work together as one. But among many fields in science, why social science? Social science comprises a wide array of academic disciplines that study the overall functions of society as well as the interaction among its individual members and institutions. But in understanding the dynamics of culture, society, and politics, we'll look into the three main fields of social sciences, which are anthropology, sociology, and political science. As we move forward in our discussions, we will begin to understand that our daily experiences are connected with the realities and phenomena that define our society. The events that have defined our lives up to the present are a product of the processes and interactions within our society. Social, cultural, and political views go beyond its concept. As we learn the concepts, theories, and views that shaped and define how we see and examine the various aspects of Philippine culture, society, and politics, you will realize that these topics have been closely intertwined within our experiences. Now let's start by understanding the field of anthropology and its significance in providing a window to our past, a mirror for our present, and a lens through which we look at the future. But what really is anthropology? It is generally a study of human nature, society, as well as its history. Man, in this context, refers to the human species in its entirety. The scope of our study of the human species includes all human groups, both cultural and biological, today's present times, and how they have adapted and evolved in the past. By understanding the goals of anthropology, we will be able to know and understand its significance in our society. Describe, explain, and analyze the present-day human cultural similarities and differences. Describe and assess the cultural development of our species. Describe and analyze the biological evolution of mankind. Describe and explain human biological diversity today. There are four major subfields under anthropology as a discipline of social science. We have archaeology, cultural anthropology, biological anthropology, and linguistic anthropology. Now let's dig deeper to understand the differences of these four subfields. Let's look at the first subfield, which is archaeology. This is a scientific study of humans, their history, and culture through examination of artifacts, remains, or left behinds. Prehistoric archaeologists recover and analyze materials to reconstruct the lifeways of past societies that lacked writing, while historical archaeologists study recent societies using material remains to complement the written record. The next subfield is cultural anthropology, which is also popularly known as social anthropology. With cultural anthropology, it studies the differences and similarities of various cultures and how they correlate to each other. In this field, anthropologists study how people who share a common cultural system organize and shape the physical and social world around them, and are in turn shaped by those ideas, behaviors, and physical environment. Now let's talk about the third subfield, which is biological anthropology. This field studies the origin, evolution, and diversity of people, as well as its ancestry, development, genetic, and other characteristics of human species. Through biological anthropology, we are able to know the past and present evolution of human species and gives us a better understanding of its causes to present human diversity. The last subfield focuses on studying language as a communication system. Linguistic anthropologists basically focuses on the relationship between language, thought, and culture. They also track the emergence and diversification of languages, while others focus on language used in today's social context. Now let's look at this field of social science that helps people gain an understanding on questions related to who gets what, when they get it, and how do they get it. For us to further understand this, let's discuss what political science is all about. Political science is concerned with the study of the state, deals with the systems of the government, and helps with the analysis of political behavior. Through this discipline, it helps us understand the principles of the state as well as the association of the people in a political community. But why do we have to get involved in the study of political science? By understanding the goals of political science, we will be able to know and understand its significance in our society. The current affairs helps us develop the ability to research, analyze, and evaluate political data and information, and use these information databases responsibly. We'll also be able to gain an understanding and appreciation of current political issues and concerns and their impact in the contemporary political environment. Next is to foster an understanding of political methodology and analysis and the ability to construct theories that would explain political and governmental behavior. And most importantly, political science gives us a clearer picture of how to be an effective and virtuous member of the society and citizen of the country. With political science as a discipline, we will be discussing the 5 main key concepts and how each one engages in its effort to control the acts of others. Here, we will consider the following: power, influence, authority, legitimacy, and linkage. The first main key concept in political science focuses on having the ability to influence the actions, beliefs, and even behavior of others with or without resistance. Power is the ability of groups or individuals to assert themselves, sometimes but not always, in opposition to the desire of others. Many decisions are made without opposition because of the great power decision makers wield. Another important concept in political science is influence. This refers to the exercise of power through the process of persuasion. It is the ability to affect the decisions and actions of others. A citizen may change his or her position after listening a speech at a rally by a certain political leader. This is an example of influence that how the efforts to persuade people can help in changing one's opinion. The next key concept talks about having the right to exercise the power and influence of a given position that comes from having been placed in that position according to a widely accepted procedure. The people give the ruler to the authority to rule, and they obey willingly without the threat of force. We tend to obey the orders of police officers because we accept their right to have power over us in certain situations. This describes how legitimate power is accepted as rightfully exercised. Legitimacy in political science is essential for the maintenance of any system of governing bodies. Authorities exercise rights, sanctions, and other immunities and privileges not because authority originates in them, but owing to people's belief in the source of base of their rights. The base or source of these rights is called legitimacy. Through legitimacy, power and influence becomes effective and operational. Individuals, organizations, and institutions cannot have power or influence without having legitimacy. In all relationships of control, there is an element of linkage. Thus, this has been considered as one of the main key components in political science. Through linkage, an established relationship can progress and can balance one's power. Specific types of linkages can be coercive or cooperative. They can also be prospective, such as promises or threats, and they can be retrospective, such as rewards or retaliation. By connecting events or issues that are not necessarily connected in a particular way, governments can boost their political and economic situations by surrendering less important issues for those that have a greater or all-around importance. The last subfield of social science that we will be discussing for this subject is sociology. Sociology is an exciting and illuminating field of study that analyzes and explains important matters in our personal lives, our communities, and the world. It offers a distinctive and enlightening way of seeing and understanding the social world in which we live and shapes our lives. Sociology studies human social behavior in a scientific and systematic manner. Sociology's subject matter is diverse, ranging from crime to religion, from the family to the state, from the divisions of race and social class to shared beliefs of a common culture, and from social stability to radical change in whole societies. Sociology not only helps us understand ourselves and society, but also helps shape our decisions that are essential in our day-to-day living and interactions. It investigates social causes and consequences at the personal level. It also helps examine and explain matters on a societal level, and even gives us an understanding of phenomena and development in a global level. This also provides careful gathering and analysis of evidence about social life to develop and enrich our understanding of key social processes. Sociology has paved a new path and dimension to other social sciences. One commonality of sociology and these other fields of social sciences is that how they are deeply rooted in studying the complexities of society. How historical causes affects the society at present, and how various aspects of the past influences the present social context, how economic processes and changes are largely determined by the social environment itself, how a person's thinking and behavior are affected by the society, how political science deals with the problems of the state where society lives. Sociology has continuously developed in the Philippines. In the recent years, Filipino sociologists have become less hesitant to voice out their findings, thus became significant in helping shape public policy. People have become deeply involved in social problems and in finding solutions to these problems. There is also an increased commitment in developing reliable, valid, and objective knowledge of the Philippine society. Through the Philippine Sociological Society, professionals from a range of disciplines are able to represent, promote, and advance their intellectual and sociological interests. With the collective effort of Filipino social scientists, we are able to create a positive impact on social development, not only here in our country but all over the world. In this introductory lesson, we were able to understand how culture, society, and politics interplay through the disciplines in anthropology, political science, and sociology. By understanding the goals of each discipline, it gave us a clearer picture on the importance of these studies and how we can relate it to our day-to-day living.